Good morning, students of class 9. You are welcome back to the e-classes now. We are doing history. Today's date is 16th of July 2021. Now we are doing forest society and colonialism. That's continued. We have reached 2.4. New trades, new employments and new services. What does it mean? Let's see now. After the Forest Act was implemented in 1865, the forest dwellers had a lot of problems. They had to leave their homes, they had to leave the forest, and they have to find other work, very odd works in the cities or in the mines or in the factories and so on. They had a very hard time. Now there are altogether 5 points. Let's go through one by one. Pay attention and listen carefully. While forest dwellers means people who live there. While forest dwellers lost out in many ways. They lost out in many ways, means their livelihood was in danger. They lost their livelihood. They had nothing to survive. They lost out in many ways after the forest department took control of the forest. Once the forest was controlled by the Europeans or the British, they lost out in many ways. Some people benefited, but some people, they benefited from this new opportunities. What was the new opportunities? The forests were being cut down. So from the new opportunities that had opened up in trade, so some people, they benefited from this new opportunities. Once the forest dwellers were removed from the forest were being cut down, and the forest product were sold by some of the people. Now look at number 2. Many communities left their traditional occupation. What was their traditional occupation? Their traditional occupation was to graze their animals in the forest and collect wild honey, hunting, grazing, as well as collecting firewood, berries, wild fruits and so on to maintain their livelihood. So many communities left their traditional occupation and started trading. Those who had got a little money, they started trading in forest products such as charcoal, honey, herbs, medicinal herbs, animal hides means skins, bones, etc. So animals were killed, trees were felled. So in this way, these certain communities, they got the benefits. They started trading in forest products. Not all of them, some communities. Number 3, this happened not only in India. This type of thing or event or situation happened not only in India but across the world. Wherever the area or the country was colonized, the same situation the people faced. In India, the trade in forest product were not new. We can see that in India, the trade in forest products were not new because the forest communities or you can say the tribal people, they used to trade forest product to some amount to the Banjaras or to the nomadic tribes from ancient times. But from the medieval period onwards means afterwards, from the medieval period onwards, the forest dwellers, the people who live in the forest and Adivasis communities started trading elephants. They used to sell baby elephants and other goods, forest goods, products like hides, skins, horns of animals, silk, ivory. Ivory means the elephant tusk. Ivory, bamboo products, spices, fibers, grasses, gums, honey, etc. Lot of things they used to trade, especially these Adivasi communities and forest dwellers from ancient period, from medieval period to nomadic tribes. They never used to go to the market to sell these things. The nomadic tribes or Banjaras, they used to visit these areas, and this forest community, these communities, they used to sell their forest product to these nomadic tribes like Banjaras. Now here, number 5, with the coming of the British, once the British occupied India or colonized India, this trade was extensive. Extensive means too much. Once the British came to India and started ruling or colonizing India, this kind of trade was extensive because the forests were cut down and forest products were numerous. As the forests were cut and it was regulated by the government, this trade in forest product was regulated by the government. They were not free. These communities or Indian people were not free to sell forest products. Everything was regulated. Regulated means controlled by the government. They gave European trading companies. So the government, British government, gave European trading companies the sole means whole, total right to trade forest products, not Indians. The European trading companies, now they were engaged in trading forest product. The Indians were left out. The Indians were left out from this occupation or from this market. These tribal people who used to live and sell produce product from ancient times, these tribal people were called criminal tribes. The British gave them a title, criminal tribes. Why? There must be a reason why these people were called criminal tribes. Because these people, they keep on moving, especially the Banjaras, they keep on moving from one area to another areas, and they were looked with suspicion by the British government. The British thought that these people are conspiring against the British government. That's why these people are criminals. So they are criminal by birth. So these people, these communities are called criminal tribes and were forced to work. These people were forced to work in mines, factories, plantations under the government supervision. These people were watched all the time because the government looked at them with suspicion. They thought that these people are conspiring against the British government, so they have to be watched. So these people were no more allowed to move from one place to another. So they were forced to work in mines, factories, plantations under the government supervision. So in our next class, to be continued, some more are there. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. Keep on studying and reading at home. You need to read the book as well. 2.4 we have reached. Forest Society and Colonialism 2.4. You go through this. More points are there. So in our next class we will meet and discuss about that and learn about that. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching.